Hello there, Stergios. Let's have a look. So, it is an undeniable fact that nowadays one of the most debatable issues relates to the default of democracy. Default or deficit of democracy? What else could we say? Not default, though. In this essay, I'll examine the topic. Okay, no, don't go into that. In this essay, I will. Just say, this essay will examine the topic from 2 points of view by using examples from recent research, from recent American, Greek, or what research, to demonstrate points and support arguments. Specificity. Okay, let's get more specific here. On one side of the dispute, there are people who believe that the best form of government is the best form, so it's one, is being threatened, okay, but you can't say threatened to disappear, yeah, is under threat would be the best way, okay, is under threat, and if it's under threat then it's clear that there's some danger that it might disappear, okay, if it's under threat. So the predominant reason for this, is that the majority of people try to vote with austerity another form of government. No, if you vote with determination, vote with enthusiasm, but you can't vote with austerity, okay? Consequently, you could vote for austerity, but the thing is, here, Stergios, we've gone into a very complex argument. Not very complex, but it's sufficiently complex. It's overly complex, because remember, this is a language test, not an intelligence test, so we don't have to show the examiner we're really up to date on this subject and we really know it. All we have to do is give a credible argument in a clear way, okay? And a clear way often means writing simple arguments, okay? So it looks as though we've got into a bit of overcomplexity here. Let's go. Consequently, as long as the other systems are developed, hence the percentage of we're just going way over our heads. For instance, recent research has shown that the Greek people have decided to elect another type of government because the previous government failed the country, okay? Saying the same with less. Therefore, people are tired of paying debts of the politicians. Okay, yeah, we don't have to go into so much detail, okay? We could just say that, and besides, we're not really talking about global capital markets, okay, which is what the question was about, okay? We're talking about problems caused by the capital markets, but you haven't expressed that here, okay? Anyway, some people on the other hand claim that the majority of the electorate have a clear viewpoint over who they are to vote for. The principal reason for this is that they are inactive. Oh, sorry, do not have then. Have not, you cannot say. That's different grammar. You have to say, do not have a clear viewpoint, or even better, have an unclear viewpoint regarding who they are going to vote for, or who they will vote for. The principal reason for this is that they are inactive regarding the campaigns of the political systems. For example, scientists or analysts, probably analysts, have proved that 70% of the young people are unaware about their votes. This happens because people have their own problems, such as finance. Eventually, although people want the full control of the government, there are still many issues that they have to face. In conclusion, everything considered, in spite of the ignorance of some individuals, I still believe that democracy might survive if the people participate. Full stop. Okay, not bad, but really just go for simplicity, okay? Because going for complex arguments means complex grammar, and quite frequently, it's difficult It's difficult grammar, and what happens is that the message we want to get to communicate gets lost. Okay, gets lost with the grammar mistakes. Okay, so just bear that in mind for the next one. All right, let's go. The two charts provide an overview of different types of VW owners and the use of VWs in England and Scotland between 1990 and 98. Good. Space. Overall, in both countries, the bought cars had the highest percentages, whereas the shared and leased cars had the lowest figures in England and Scotland, respectively. I'm not so sure about that. No, look. Leased is the largest section in England, and it's the smallest section in Scotland. Okay? And you're saying, whereas the shared and leased had the lowest in Scotland and in England and Scotland respectively. No, I think it was the most popular actually in England. Alright? So, anyway, let's carry on. As can be seen on the first chart, in England the numbers of bought cars was just 35%, while in Scotland it was double. It was double, not reaching the high of. That's trend language when there's a change. Okay, so we could say, while in Scotland it was double at 65%, full stop. Furthermore, the the share of shared and leased cars was less than a fifth and fifth respectively, while in Scotland was less than a fifth and a fifth respectively. So if you're saying that, I'm assuming you're going for England and Scotland, and then you jump to Scotland again. So it's not that clear, okay? It was less than a fifth, while in Scotland the figures represented almost 20%, okay, or whatever. But you can't say the opposing case, because what's the opposite of a fifth? Alright? Maybe a tenth, but it's not that common to say it like that, okay? According to the second chart, in England, the figures for VW sales began the period at roughly 130,000, before slipping back to 70,000 in 1990. Good. Now we should talk about Scotland, okay? Whereas in Scotland, they followed, also in Scotland they followed a similar pattern, dropping by about 20,000 from 180 at the beginning of the period, full stop. Let's see. In addition, it continued to decrease till 1995, and it then surged to almost 150,000 cars. On the other hand, no, we don't use that expression for academic task 1, okay? Because that's representing different points of view, okay? There's no points of view here. It's just one, and that's objectivity, okay? And that's being objective. So we could just say, in Scotland, the number of VW sales was almost similar, with an average of 150,000 and 180,000 throughout the period. Not bad, but I would have liked to see more direct comparisons between them, okay? And it would have been good to also note that sales practically, actually you did, but you could have compared that with this, okay? More or less, there is some change with Scotland, and it's less dramatic than in England, but overall, Scotland has more VWs than England, except for the last 2 years where they're roughly equal, okay? That would be comparing and contrasting. But it's good work though, Stergios, good work. Welcome back. In the next essay, you might get an ex-IELTS examiner correcting your work, okay? Which will offer you a fresh set of eyes to go through your work and give you some different tips from me, okay? Just in case. I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll see. Okay, buddy. So you know the deal. Implement all the corrections, and then send me back your work with the 2 new essays, okay? Welcome back, mate. Let's keep going.